I have arrived with a new video. This is the Crazy Music Geek. I used to do videos like this on my old channel, Vinyl Man 95, but I'm just gonna be giving an update on my CD collection. If you were subscribed to that old channel, there's been a lot of additions since, but for those who have not seen those videos, I will just go from the start. So right from here to here is my AC/DC collection. Yeah, rock on AC/DC. I basically have all of their albums, with the exception of a few live albums and Rock or Bust. Those are the only stuff I don't have. I also don't have Who Made Who, but yeah, so I got High Voltage, Dirty Deeds, Let There Be Rock, Powerage, Highway to Hell, Back in Black. For those about to rock, Flick of the Switch, Fly on the Wall, Blow Up Your Video, Razor's Edge, Live, Ball Breaker, Stiff Upper Lip, and then finally Black Ice. They're not a band I listen to that often, but when I was about 14, I kind of got into a big AC/DC craze, and I occasionally go back. And then the next one is Aerosmith with Toys in the Attic. I don't play it that often. It's a good album, though. I just don't have time. Then this is a very old copy, excuse me, of Alice Cooper's Greatest Hits. There's like an expanded version that came out in the early 2000s, I think, but this is like an older CD. I think this is from the 90s, but I could be wrong, maybe even earlier. But yeah, I'm going to put that so that I have more space. Then I got the Animals retrospective. This is actually an SACD, and it's the only SACD that I have, and I bought it used at FYE, but when I opened it up, the previous owner tore out the booklet. I was kind of pissed. So yeah, plays fine on CD players, but yeah. Then we go into the Beach Boys. I only have a few Beach Boys. First one I got is Beach Boys Surfin' Safari. It's like a mono and stereo version of the first album. It's an alright first album, but you can definitely tell that it's the beginnings. Then I got Pet Sounds, and then Sounds of Summer. Alright. Then I got the Beastie Boys' first album. Freaking love that album. And then from here to all the way right freaking here is the Beatles. I basically, from here to here, I got, these are basically every UK album, and then there's Past Masters. Then I got 2 US albums, Meet the Beatles and Yesterday and Today. I put the sticker on here because I was going to get the US box set, and I probably still will at some point, but I just haven't gotten to it yet. Beatles Live at the BBC, Volume 1, and then the CD single Baby It's You, and then of course the 3 anthologies, and then the Yellow Submarine song track, which is a good one, Beatles 1, then Volume 2 of the BBC, and then the latest release that I got for like individual CDs, the Beatles 8 Days a Week live at the Hollywood Bowl. Then we go to the Bee Gees, Ultimate Bee Gees. I don't really listen to that often. Then I got a 3-disc set of Bill Haley and the Comets, Rock Around the Clock, basically. It's got all their stuff. Then Billy Joel's The Stranger. And then we go down, and Billy Joel's 52nd Street, and then Billy Joel's Greatest Hits, Volumes 1 and 2. Then for Bob Dylan, Shadows in the Night. It's the only one I have on the shelf, but I do have a box set of his that I'll show in another video. The Wailing Wailers, this is actually a very early group from Bob Marley. It's probably my favorite material he ever did. It's like doo-wop, but reggae-fied. Then Natty Dread, and then Legend, and then we got the self-titled from Boston, And then greatest hits from the Buckinghams, Mercy, Mercy, Mercy. Saw them live. It was pretty good. Then I got this one. This is the latest one. The Birds. I've been getting into the Birds lately, so I'll probably be building up my Bird CD collection soon, but this is a good way to start out with. Ooh, my arm is getting tired, and it's only 5 minutes and 26 seconds in. And then Carole King's Tapestry. Have not gotten the chance to listen to this yet, but I will soon. Chicago, the very best of. I like Chicago. I actually used to love Chicago, but when re-listening to them, I think I really only can like the Terry Kath era. Most of the stuff after the Terry Kath era, I'm just not a big fan of. Then this 3 CD set of Chuck Berry. And then here's a bit of an underrated, kind of weird one. The Crazy World of Arthur Brown. Some of you rock historians might know who this is. But yeah. Then Cream's Desiree Gears. And then Creedence Clearwater Revival's Chronicle. It's weird. I actually have the latest remaster of that, which came out, I don't know, I think it was 90s, but the CD casing of this is actually like the first one. But yeah. Then from here to here is like my David Bowie. I've got Space Oddity, Man Who Sold the World, Hunky Dory, Ziggy Stardust, Aladdin Sane, Low, Heroes, Scary Monsters, Let's Dance, Reality, and Black Star. That's for the studio albums. And then I have this box set I actually bought a few days after he died. Nothing has changed. So that's all my Bowie. And then from here to here, it's Deep Purple, Fireball, and Machine Head. Don't really listen to them that much. Not because I don't like Deep Purple, I just listen to my other stuff. Then, oh man, my arm is getting tired. From here to here, Def Leppard, Pyromania, and Hysteria. And then I have this compilation of Dick Dale, which I did not know was a re-recording until after I bought it. I was kind of pissed, but it's alright. And then I got one after I bought that one, which has all the original recordings. And then Dio's Holy Diver, The Drifters' Golden Hits, Duran Duran's Rio, Eagles' Greatest Hits volume, like from 71 to 75, Hotel California, and then Eric Clapton Unplugged, Elton John's Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, the deluxe edition, his greatest hits, and then Fleetwood Mac's Rumors. Okay, we're halfway through. Man, my arm is wanting to kill me. Nothing can go wrong with the little Frank Zappa apostrophe. Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers, The Essential Recordings. I actually don't have a lot of solo Beatles stuff. The only discography I have of solo Beatles that is complete is the John Lennon, and I'll show that in a box set later on. But for George Harrison, I only have Living in the Material World and Cloud 9. Oh, sorry, I had to burp. George Michael's Faith, probably the only George Michael CD I need, and it's a darn good album. Alright, then we go to the Grateful Dead. I used to not like the Grateful Dead, but then last summer I really got into them. Anthem of the Sun, Live Dead, Working Man's Dead, American Beauty, and the very best of the Grateful Dead. Then we go to Green Day, Dookie, and American Idiot, and then Guns N' Roses' Appetite for the Destruction. Really good debut album. Hank Williams Gold, the pretty different from Guns N' Roses. Love me some Hank. I love some old country. And then Herman's Hermits, the very best, and that is autographed by Peter Noon. Got to see him, got to shake his hand. He was a pretty nice guy. Iron Butterfly, Inagata Devita, Iron Maiden, The Number of the Beast, and Power Slave. Then James Brown, 20 all-time greatest hits. And then I got a 10-hit series of Jan and Dean. Jefferson Airplane, Surrealistic Pillow. Very best of Jerry Lee Lewis. 3 CDs. It's a pretty good collection. Jim Croce, The Greatest Hits. It's basically it's probably his biggest selling album. Then I got Jimi Hendrix, Are You Experienced, Axis Bold as Love, and Electric Ladyland. Then I got John Denver's Greatest Hits. Love me some John Denver. John Denver is very, very underrated as far as like musicians that are praised nowadays. Like, I don't really see him being talked about like in Rolling Stone magazine. Johnny Cash at Folsom Prison. Johnny Cash at San Quentin. And then The Essential Johnny Cash. Then From Here to Here is Kiss. The debut Kiss album. Hotter Than Hell. Dressed to Kill. Destroyer. Rock and Roll Over. Love Gun. And then I'm skipping several Kiss albums with Creatures of the Night, which is probably either the second best or the best Kiss album, in my opinion. Here's another pretty underrated band right here, Klaatu. This is a CD of their first 2 albums. They're kind of really only known because a lot of people thought they were the Beatles. And songs like Sub Rosa Subway do sound a lot like the Beatles, I'm not gonna lie. And then From Here to Here, we got the first 6 Led Zeppelin albums. Yeah. Then right here is probably the only Linkin Park CD I'm interested in. Hybrid Theory. Really good album, but everything they released after that was downhill. Very Best of Little Richard. Here's another kind of weird band from the 70s, Looking Glass. Had a big hit called Brandy. And then I love the rest of their stuff. Then From Here to Here is Lou Reed. Got Transformer, Berlin, Sally Can't Dance, Coney Island Baby. This is Lou Reed live. And then The Blue Mask. And then we got, some reason Paul McCartney is, this is kind of misplaced, but I'll go with it. Paul McCartney, Ram, Band on the Run, Flaming Pie, Run Devil Run, Chaos and Creation, and New. And then Paul Simon, first Paul Simon album, There Goes Rhyme Simon and Graceland. And then we get back into alphabetical order. I'll have to fix that later. The McCoys, they did Hang On Sloopy. This is their first 2 albums. I think this is an import CD from Germany. I actually was buying a greatest hits of theirs, and I accidentally got that in the mail, but I think I found that to be a better choice. Merle Haggard's 40 #1 hits. Like I said, I love me some country. It is kind of weird, though, seeing a lot of these artists together, like Jim Croce and, I don't know, Jefferson Airplane together. It's a little weird. Then we got Metallica, Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, And Justice for All, the Black Album, Load, and Reload. Then we go into Michael Jackson, Off the Wall, Thriller, and Bad. My personal favorite out of those is Off the Wall. Then here we go with Miles Davis, Kinda Blue. First jazz album I ever picked up. It's really the only like singular CD jazz album. I do have a box set of like Dave Brubeck, but I'll show that later. And then right next to Miles Davis, Motley Crue with Dr. Feelgood. It's a good album that makes you Feel good. Pun was intended. Don't kill me. Nazareth, Hair of the Dog. Good stuff. Neil Diamond, all-time greatest hits. Then we got Nirvana, Nevermind, Incesticide, In Utero, and MTV Unplugged. Well, I just had a brain fart. Then we got Oasis, What's the Story, Morning Glory. I used to hate Oasis, but then I bought that album, and now I'm a little bit of a fan, or at least a fan of that album. Blizzard of Oz, Tribute, both from Ozzy. Pearl Jam's debut. And then from here to there is my Prince. Let's go with Prince. Self-titled, hideous album cover. Dirty Mind. Controversy. 1999. Purple Rain. And Around the World in a Day. Then we go down here. Sign of the Times. Batman. And then this is the only one I have when he was the Symbol. Rave Unto the Joy Fantastic. I have not played that yet, but I don't know. The Very Best of Prince. That concludes it for Prince. Then we got, oh, whoopsie daisy. Quiet Riot. Metal Health. This is probably the only Quiet Riot CD anybody needs. Then I got this Beatles tribute, Rain. It's like a greatest hits. I got that when I saw them live. Rainbow. It's the band with Dio and the guitarist of Deep Purple. Ringo Starr. This is a best of. He's the only Beatle I don't really have any solo stuff of, but I will get to that. Robert Johnson, The Complete Collection. Then from here to here is the Stones. I don't have a lot of Stones. I like the Stones. I'm just not the hugest or biggest fan of the Stones. So, Rolling Stones Now. I bought this at a record store for pretty cheap, and unfortunately that record store went out of business. Rolling Stones, Sticky Fingers. For some reason, this CD sounds like crap. Not the contents, obviously, but like the mastering is brick wailed. I might sell that and get a new one. I don't know. Exile on Main Street. My favorite Rolling Stones album right now, Goat's Head Soup, mainly for the closing track. I love that closing track. And then Some Girls. This is a deluxe edition. Used to not really like it, but now I'm getting back into it. And then The Very Best of the Rolling Stones. It's got all their early stuff. Then right here is the Essential Roy Orbison. It's actually the 3.0 edition. It's got like the original versions of like In Dreams and stuff. The one that's the 2 CD has like the 80s versions. Then we got Simon and Garfunkel, Sounds of Silence, Parsley, Sage, Rosemary, and Thyme, and then Bridge Over Troubled Waters. I have Bookends on vinyl, and you all know that because I showed it in a video. First Skid Row album. Just like a lot of these, it's the only Skid Row you're gonna need. Soundgarden, not Black Hole Sun, Super Unknown. Stevie Wonder, The Definitive Collection. Strawberry Alarm Clock. This is like a twofer of their first 2 albums. I actually just got that album on vinyl. And then I bought this at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This is like a greatest hits, like a little sampler of Strawberry Alarm Clock. Sublime. This is a self-titled. I freaking love Sublime. Rest in peace, Bradley. Sublime is one of the most underrated bands of all time, even though they had commercial success. Hold on. Surfari's Wipeout and Play, another twofer. I've been liking a lot of surf rock, so I picked out that. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, the debut. Then You're Gonna Get It, Damn the Torpedoes, Full Moon Fever, and Wildflowers. Then I got the Essential Tommy James and the Shondells. And then what's supposed to be here is the Trashmen's Surfin' Bird album, but I have misplaced it at the moment. So, it's actually at my computer desk. Van Halen debut. Van Halen 2 in 1984. Then Van Morrison's Moon Dance. I actually forgot I bought that. Velvet Underground. And Nico. This is White Light, White Heat. Then Velvet Underground. Weezer's first album. Weird Al Yankovic, Dare to Be Stupid. Whitesnake. And then Wham, Make It Big. I showed that in my contest video for Mike Pete. Then on down to the last shelf. This is all we got for the last one. The Who, Sell Out. Tommy. And then Who's Next? Alright. And then Willie Nelson, Redheaded Stranger. Love me some good old Willie. That's what she said. The Essential Willie Nelson. The Yardbirds, Shapes of Things. It's the best of. It's a 2 CD set. The Zombies, Odyssey and Oracle. And then last but not least, ZZ Top's Eliminator. So that's my CD collection. Took very long. I will be showing the box sets in my next video, so stay tuned. See you later.